Welcome to Project Solway. My name is WilloW, and I will be in charge of bringing you the worst stories, tales, unsolved crimes, paranormal curiosities, and many other things. Welcome to this new video format. I hope you like this new format. For the first time, this video will be uploaded in English version. So, saying this, welcome. And this is the first time we're doing this on English version. Video games maybe are one of the most selected hobbies in the world. To small children, to all grown men. They have played at least one video game in their life. In video games are two versions of players, or two ways that you can play a video game. Alone or with someone else. Most of the time, the companies are make tournaments, competitions, or just for playing, just for fun. But there is some people or just some players they doesn't know how the difference between just a video game or become obsessed with them to the point of they can lose their temperament in an unmanageable way. Between them screaming, yelling, crying, break the controllers, but sometimes that's even a little bit far of that. Because they are people who are even capable of killing his rival only for losing. And this is the history of a bad player. Today, I present to you the case of David Katz, an amateur player from Maiden, champion of the Madden 18 Championship Tournament in 2017. To that exact point, everything was fine. So let's go further back in time to find out what happened to him. At the age of 12, he was having one of the most worst stages because their parents were going through an ambitious, atrocious divorce to see who will get the custody of him and his big brother, Brandon. That happening plus the trials, David get a big depression. According to the psychologist who they have in the divorce process, David suffered a psychiatric crisis that was getting worse to the divorce and the lack of attention of his parents. Plus, this trial, they took 10 years to get a winner. When his parents find out what he was suffering in that exact moment, they decide to act. But due to the legal process, they never agreed with something. Because when the mother says something, the dad denies to do. When his mother wants the trial, she do the worst thing to David because she medicate him by their own. So he was beginning medicated with a very young Dave. The problem on that exact moment, she doesn't give an absolute damn about that. The problem was he was getting automedicated, but the problem was that this antidepressant that was for people over 14 years old, and the worst thing about that medication was for treat schizophrenia. To the pass of time, David decided to go and live with his dad. But the damage of that was already done. The only thing that he has in their life, they was the video games, most exactly Maiden. But every time that he was playing, his dad looks at him, and he always show an empty, cold look without any expression. So let's go another back just a few moments to that exact day when David lost the control. The event was held in Jacksonville, Florida, in a place called Chicago Pizza, in August 15, in 2018. The next day before is when everything starts to happen. The people who make this competition, they want to having a good time with David because they know about the problem, about the process of the divorce of the parents. So they decide to pay the hotel rooms, the foods, all the fancy. But David denies, and he wants to travel in his own car to Baltimore, where he lives with his dad, to Jacksonville, Florida. But he was only with his backpack. Let's gonna put attention to that. The next day, on August 16th, was the tragic day when David do the things. On August 16th, in 2018, on Chicago Pizza was the competition. This tournament starts after a long day to see matches between great players, amateur players, and pro players. Let's gonna move just a little bit farther. David was next to play because he was on the semifinals. He was playing against Elijah Clayton. Elijah was made the biggest mistake of his life because he eliminates David. Something happens inside of David, just right here. Why? At 1:30 p.m., David, with a cold expression, he stands up and he leaves of the stadium straight to this car. At 1:33 p.m., he returned inside of the place with two more accessories, a .45 caliber and a 9mm, So I'm sure you know why he was go straightly scarred to this backpack. Because he was carrying his own weapons on them. I won't gonna put the video because they have a very loud noises. But on this case, I can put you the sounds. So I warn you on this exactly moment. What you're gonna hear are the screams, the conversations between the people was there, the explosions of the bullets. So I ask a very, very discretion of this.
A lot of good games. It's a lot. It's gonna be hard. It's not a lot. It's not a tough out. Excuse me, not an easy out.
On that terrible day, 3 people died on that place and 11 was injured. But there is another thing that you have to know about David. When David was shooting through everyone, on that day was more than 100 people on that place. Some of the people who was there on that day, they say that he was mutating something. But there was a counting. Yeah, he was counting every single bullet that he was taking out of his gun, trying to kill the more persons in that day. He left only 1 bullet. When the police came to the place to see if they could do something, they found David in a corner of the place with the last bullet inside of his head. My recommendation here is if you have a problem, a psychology problem or depression, go find help, because these kind of cases are more usual than you think. Today, Will has spoken to you and give him the welcome to this new video format, to the channel of Project Solway. Will has spoken to you, and I wish you good night and have the worst and bad dreams of your life.